Welcome to this video on level of detail expressions. This video is intended to be the first of several videos diving into deeper explanations of more technical aspects of LOD expressions. To learn the fundamentals, please see the video Introduction to LOD Expressions. Level of detail expressions extend Tableau's calculation language by introducing the capability to specify the exact level of aggregation within a calculation itself. An LOD expression is established by curly braces. The first piece inside the braces is the keyword, then the dimension declaration, followed by a colon, then the aggregate expression. Let's work through each piece of the syntax backwards, starting with the most recognizable part. The aggregate expression portion of an LOD expression should be familiar. This can be anything from a simple sum of sales to a complex calculation. Here's an example of a calculation in the aggregate expression, in this case providing the date of a customer's second order. Note that the aggregate expression cannot contain the aggregation ATTR, nor can it contain a table calculation. The dimension declaration identifies the dimensions that define the level of detail to use when performing the aggregation. If no dimensions are declared, either with a fixed keyword or no keyword specified, the LOD expression is considered table-scoped, which is a complete aggregate of the data. Multiple dimensions can be listed in the dimension declaration, separated by commas, but all dimensions must be from the same data source, and combined fields cannot be used. Only field names can be used in the dimension declaration. No calculations, although calculated fields can be used. No aggregations, sets, parameters, or table calculations. For many of these, this restriction is because LOD expressions are executed very early in the query pipeline, so values that are only established later on cannot be referenced. The last portion of the syntax is the keyword, which can be one of three options: fixed, include, or exclude. These keywords are very powerful, and to truly understand all the implications of using a given keyword, we recommend watching all of the LOD videos in this section, as each addresses different aspects of keyword behavior. Level of detail expressions that use include or exclude keywords will always result in measures. These results cannot be binned because they have relative dimensionality. Fixed keyword expressions will default to be dimensions or measures based on the aggregate expression. If the aggregate expression would yield a measure, the overall expression will be a measure, such as number of orders per customer. If the aggregate expression would yield a dimension, such as string, Boolean, or date data types, the overall expression will be a dimension, such as second purchase date. Regardless of the default behavior, fixed LOD expressions can be converted to either a dimension or a measure. Numeric fixed LOD expressions can be binned unless the aggregate expression is a date. The keywords also impact where LOD expressions are evaluated in regards to filtering order of operations. There are several different kinds of filters in Tableau, and they are executed in the following order, from top to bottom. If you're familiar with SQL, you can think of dimension filters as the where clause in a query, and measure filters as the having clause. Fixed calculations happen before dimension filters. Effectively, any filter on the shelf will be ignored unless it's a context filter when computing fixed results. This behavior is desired and necessary to make fixed behave as expected. For example, here we have a view that shows the percent of total shipping costs broken out by order priority and a breakdown of shipping cost and profit. The percent total of shipping cost is calculated by taking a sum of shipping cost and dividing by the LOD expression of the fixed or table-scoped sum of shipping cost. If we filter out an order priority, say medium, we want our percent of total to still refer to the total of all order priorities, even though we filter out the marks from the view. If the fixed LOD expression, table-scoped in this case, filtered after the dimension of order priority, we couldn't retain that overall total. Include and exclude LOD expressions are evaluated after dimension filters and before measure filters. Thank you for watching this LOD training video. To fully understand LOD expressions, it's also important to know how Tableau reconciles the level of detail of the LOD expression and the level of detail of the view. We invite you to continue with the next video on aggregation and replication of LOD expressions to learn more.